Hello, everybody. We have more High Elf stuff to talk about today, and I am, as always, very excited for High Elves releasing for the old world. The meme's a little outdated now with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, which, hey, congrats to the Eagles and the Eagles fans. Please don't burn down your city. But with that said, we had actually a couple almanacs for old world over the past couple days. I didn't do a video yesterday because it didn't seem worth it, but we'll talk about today in tandem with the High Elf Almanac that we just had released. So let's bring that up now. So boom, miniature of the year alert, and they're not messing around. They are not messing around with this, because actually it's two miniatures of the year here in one. What are these arcane frogs up to in the old world? And when Warcom first started, it was a little bit more loose, haphazard. But there's a lot more fun, things like this. So I'm glad to see something like this come back where it's, not just trying to sell me something, not just trying to pass along information, just be like, hey, here's something cool. Let's have some fun with it, Let's just go. Um, anyway, the battlefields of the old world are abound with spells, incantations, and other assorted arcana as wizards, shamans, and demon worshippers, demon worshippers let loose with their fearsome and unnatural powers. Some of these spells sharpen the blades or bolster the resolve of their troops around, while others conjure howling vortexes or blazing missiles, and some turn you into a frog. Look at these glorious boys. A very Nurgly frog there, and a very Zinchian frog with the extra eye. I don't know. Can we get a corn frog? What about Slanesh? No, never mind. No Slanesh frog here. Um, this is just a fun little drop. Like, hey, we make frogs in the game, so why not, bring this along if you're gonna bring this spell potentially, this scroll that you're gonna pay for, and yeah, turn your wizard friend into a frog, and like here you can use this. These two fabulous amphibian manifest courtesy of the Scroll of Transmogrification, a magic item found in the Warhammer the Old World rulebook. 50 points. And I don't know how many people are taking it, but promise you, I'm gonna probably pick these up, and I'm gonna take it a few times just to get them out there. Troublesome enemy wizard peppering you with fireballs or assaulting you with stone. Why not croak back by turning them into a frog? And as we can see here, we'll read the text. Scroll of Transmogrification, 50 points. For wizard, there are fewer things better than joy felt upon turning a rival into a frog. Single use only. The bearer may use the scroll instead of making a wizardly dispel attempt. The spell is cast as normal. Once the spell has been resolved, the casting player must roll equal or lower than the casting wizard's level on the wizardry on a single d6. So, 4 plus. This should be pretty easy to do, honestly. Like, you got a good shot. Should the wizard fail, the wizard turns into a frog. Oh no, I guess the casting value must roll equal or lower. Oh, so level 4 has a less chance. That makes more sense logically. But hey, why not? Let's have some fun with it. Whilst transmogrified, the wizard cannot cast or dispel any spells, cannot use any of their equipment, magical or mundane, and reduces all their characteristics, excluding wounds, to 1. During each start of turn sub-phase, a player may roll d6 for each transmogrified wizard in their army. On a 4 plus, the wizard returns normal, but retains a love of water. So what else is there to be said? Pack of 2 arcane frogs cast in Forge World Resin will be available shortly. It's gonna be like a random drop. They're probably gonna be like $30. I'm gonna buy them, but it's just fun. Like I said, I'm glad that they're. And to be fair, it feels like their production, for the most part, with the newer releases, has been much better. Oh, I just realized how bad my bedhead is here. Sorry. It feels like their production for what's coming out now has been kind of resolved. They're putting correct backing behind it. Very rarely do I see stuff sell out instantly. We'll see High Elves is a very popular army. I'm going to be in there buying a lot of stuff. I'm sure other people will too. Still waiting on Lady Elise and a few other the stuff to come back in stock. But yeah, you know what? Like I'm glad that they're able to have enough production time to have fun with something like this too. And I'm assuming this is a sculpted base, it looks like. Not the base itself, but like the platform on top. And then this one's not. So very cool either way. I'm here for the frogs. But we gotta talk Old World Almanac High Elves of Elthin Arvan. I don't know what that is. I'm kind of lost. So let's dive in here because I'm not that's not ringing a bell. Even if it should, I'm a high elf diehard. But take a look at the High Elf Almanac for today. When the world was young, and long before the Empire Man and King Bretonnian is formed, the High Elves ruled the seas from their magical island home of Ulthuan. They faced long millennia of strife, near defeat during the First Great War against Chaos, and then friendship, betrayal, and eventual defeat to the dwarves in the War of the Beard. That's right, it's the War of the Beard, not the War of Vengeance. And though they are unwelcome in the old world itself in this era, they have yet to retreat all the way home to Ulthuan and maintain healthy presence in the fortress and garrisons situated on the islands all along the coast, from Bretonnia to the northern and southern tip of Estalia, which is now updated on the map. That's awesome. Nice little War of the Beard picture here. This little vignette right here I've seen many times in that one too, but like the whole picture, that's cool. Look at the king back there, just the shield, just taking that dragon breath attack like it's nothing. It's also like, is this like touched up a little bit maybe? Color? It's oddly jagged. Interesting. Anyway. So with the return to the tabletop imminent, we once again climbed the 9,999 steps of the Silver Tower at Warhammer HQ to speak with the changers of the rules, those mischievous imps, JTY and Danny. All right, let's dive in, JTY and Danny. This arcane journal is all about high elf presence in the old world. The theme: power the elves wield over their distant colonies and influence by still hold over the old world. It's not about Ulthuan. Everything we're doing in this game comes back to the old world. Yep, we know that. We examine the Empire, the Border Princes, Norscap, Bretonnia, and the rest. But we don't look beyond this area. So this book takes a look at the elven coastal outposts that surround it and the troops garrisoned within. All right, I'm fine with that. It's actually giving me a different perspective because I'm so used to the Ulthuan-centric focus from 8th edition that it's kind of fun to see what this is going on here because I know what's going on in Ulthuan. Long ago, the elves suffered a great loss at the hands of the dwarves during the War of the Beard and got pushed out of their colonies on the mainland. They agreed not to return to the land as they knew as Elthin Arvan. Oh, so that's the elven word for the old world. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I did not know that. But that didn't mean that they had to go too far. They withdrew to the islands, and that's what allows them to maintain their position as a global naval superpower. Control over the seas is what matters to the elves because from there they can control the lands, even though the dwarves might dispute their control of the old world. So here we can see, essentially, just a map. We can see the elven outposts here, and all the way down there too. I like how they have, I guess these might be the ones more friendly with the elves, is what that map's showing. Yeah, and you know what? I haven't really positioned myself, like my narrative. Like I have my army narrative, but I didn't really figure out exactly where I was going to. So maybe I need to figure that out and write some more army lore here soon. All right, so the High Elves, they are heavily involved in trade and diplomacy and would not be unusual to find courtly High Elves in cosmopolitan cities like Marienburg acting as diplomats, courtiers, and advisors. There's only a couple of places where they have any presence on the mainland, in isolated corners that are far away from dwarves as you can get. They own a castle on the west coast of Bretonnia, which the dwarves consider to be out of sight, out of mind. It's fair. They're not in open conflict, but the two cultures haven't liked each other since the war, and they largely ignore one another these days. I like that the War of the Beard's kind of still much fresher, it feels like, with the way they're focusing this setting. They may have coastal cities, and it's not until they get pulled away over the next few decades that they fully retreat from the old world. We choose to lean on this naval military culture and the Lothran Sea Guard in particular. Which, yeah, when I wrote my army lore, as we look at this beautiful art here, which I don't know if I've seen it in color. Like I said, I think they might have like touched up color on some of these, but I know when I was doing my army lore, it was like, I'm like, I have to have Sea Guard because I'm going to the old world. You know, like, sure, I gave myself other things too, and it's working out with the way this arcane journal is, but yeah, Sea Guard are pivotal for what I feel High Elves coming to the old world. And once again, to reiterate, I know we haven't seen the Sea Guard return as far as a pre-order yet, but don't forget, you can always, the original Sea Guard were just spearmen with bows on their back, so you can make your own with that battalion box if you're wanting to do this theme. Yeah, it's great art. They're the naval military, the Marines. They are the naval military, the Marines. They serve Sea Lord Aslan, and they are by far the most common elven military in the old world at this time. The storyline of the Arcane Journal focuses on an elven diplomat captured by beastmen for some sort of infernal ritual. The Lothar and Seaguard work alongside woodsmen of Trace. That's right, I said it right. To deploy a force into the mainland to recover the diplomat before things turn too sour. Commander Ishaya Vess has been sent to the local Bretonian lord to do the diplomacy and ask for permission to land, while Corhill and his warriors are already on the hunt. So I'm curious what we're gonna do here, because Corhill, my man, one of my favorites. Can't be a strong elf and not be a poster boy of strength hammer here. All right, the White Lions of Trace act as bodyguards for important lords and diplomats, which is why I brought some of my army, because Terathi's a noble. So it's not unusual for such bold warriors to be found close to the shores of the Old World. Because Corhill commands the White Lions, and I'm curious, I don't think he was the captain of the White Lions yet, but this says command, so maybe, I mean, he probably, he rose to the rank, so I guess that would make sense to give him a small command before he becomes the full captain. So yeah, he's not captain yet, but he is leading small forces and doing some good work. See, he's responsible for this kind of close protection. And because he's in the area when the diplomat goes missing, he takes it upon himself to set off with his troops to get stuck in. Here we go. I can't wait to see his rules. Like, his rules were so fun back in the day. Oh my god, he just killed everything. It would have been very easy for us to return to prominent elven characters due to their long lifespans, but we're looking at a different period and we have different focus. That will allow us to introduce new characters who will have been out of focus by the era of Karl Franz, but who are pretty important to the story we're trying to tell now. It'd be weird if it was always the same handful of heroes coming back to save the day over and over again. But Corhill is certainly relevant in this time period, and he's just as choppy as I'll remember. Yes! That's what I want. I want him to have Monster Slayer, I want him to have, Hero Slayer, I want him to have all that fun stuff in like 4 or 5 attacks. Over 8 editions of Warhammer, there were different characters at different times. Some would go away in a new edition, new heroes take their place, and sometimes they would return. Just because they don't have models or rules in a certain game doesn't mean that they're not here, just that the focus is elsewhere. We know that Teclis, Tyr, and Alero are up to in this current moment. Yep, they're still kind of getting their feet under them. They're not the powerhouses that we know yet, but we know they're there and around. That's canon, already exists. Teclis, certainly active. Yep, he is. He's in the next few decades during the Great War. Are we going to look to that? You have to wait and see, but we're not in a hurry to get there. That's fine. I know my boy Teclis is around. I know they're around. We'll get there when we get there. For now, I'm going to enjoy focusing on what used to be more of a sub-character, Corhill, who's now a major character for our setting. He's the focus, and I love it. And I like that they're not rushing to get there. Honestly, I want legacy armies to come back in full before we start rushing towards the Great War. We, as the outsiders looking at the world of legend, are privileged and positioned to know the future, just as we do the Horus Heresy. But while we know such things, we avoid referencing them in stories set in the past. Otherwise, we end up not telling the story of the time. It's good, very honest, and kill your darling sort of thing, I guess, in a way. Ulthuan is a long way away. We will see some of the politics in the old world as we move along, discovering the attitude of the High Elves to the other races. As much as anything, this narrative exists to show how they behave around humans. They pay lip service to diplomacy and getting permission to land, but while they're doing that, they've done it anyway. They don't really care, and that tells you what they need to know about the elves. All right, thanks, guys. First waves of High Elves will be available pre-order Saturday. They will swiftly be followed up by a second wave of made-to-order releases and perhaps even a third wave down the line. And then it's Beastmen and Wood Elves, and then the Old World Almanac will return on Thursday. Boom. So, looks like we'll have another video here on Thursday. I'm curious what that's going to be about. And guys, I know I'm really excited with High Elves, particularly, and I've done other Old World Almanacs. But if you'd like me to do this for all of them, even if it's not an army, I'm excited about everything Old World. But let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and we're almost to 700, so we're getting close to that 1,000. So appreciate everybody that's tuning in here. But yeah, man, High Elves coming soon. I can't wait. Wood Elves will be just as fun. Beastmen, I've not really done a lot with Beastmen, so kind of looking forward to just exploring them more. But like I said, we get there when we get there, and it's coming fast. Which is kind of exciting. Like, I wasn't expecting this pace of release. I thought we'd be in March before we even saw the High Elves, just to slow things out. And there's those rumors out there right now that they're working on a sort of a balance, a big balance update. I don't know, like a general's handbook, if you want to call it that. I know I've heard a lot of folks out there, um, work on their own sort of comp packs, which is it's fun to do. It's a good exercise, but as always, like me and Neil are working on our own here, and we'll probably do an episode on it on the main podcast about our comp. Our comp's not going to be for everybody. Um, and truth be told, like I'm not. There's things about this game that are fine. Like it's about your local meta. Um, and for sure right now, like take things with a grain of salt. Like sometimes you might run into 2, 3 dragon lists. It's gonna happen. Other times you might not. But I even when I've gotten run over, I've had a great time with Old World, just because all the list building, all the nostalgia, all the how it looks on the table, it's all great. Truth be told, I would like, man, I wish we, well, I could play bigger games anytime, but um, yeah, I just like the grand armies out there. It'd be fun to get like a grand army. Like what was the 3,000 point list look like? I guess. Um, like does that change? Should we change the structure of that at all? But I'm digressing here. Yes, I hope everyone is excited about High Elves. I hope this almanac has you just as hyped. I can't wait. I've set reminders in my calendar. It's High Elf release Saturday. That's my focus. After the release time, I get my stuff on pre-order. Then I'm probably gonna go play some Warhammer. But yeah, until then, everybody. Looks like we'll see you Thursday for another video. From what this sounds like, or yeah, to talk about whatever almanac they release. But till then, let me know what you're most excited about with the High Elf release below. Whether it's playing somebody, whether it's you know just seeing someone else get it. And until next time, happy hobbying and stay Stormcast strong.